One of the greatest assets you have as an entrepreneur is your entrepreneur mindset. Entrepreneurs think differently to everybody else. So what we want to do is wake up the entrepreneurial mindset as much as we possibly can. I know that society is built to crush the entrepreneurial mindset. School was not about entrepreneurship. Work is not about entrepreneurship. Many of society's systems are not at all trying to create entrepreneurs out there in the world. But you are in control of your mindset, and let's talk about 10 challenges to wake up that entrepreneurial part of yourself that loves building a successful business and impacting the world. Okay, challenge number 1 is to make 3 calls or at least fire off 3 DMs. Whenever you have an idea, rather than that idea just sitting in a journal, rather than the idea just sort of like dying as one of many ideas on the couch that you may have had, I want you to get into the habit more often of either picking up the phone and talking to 3 new people about that idea, or firing off some DMs to see if the idea is feasible. Now, when I say pick up the phone or talk to someone about the idea or send some DMs, I'm not talking about your best friends. I'm not talking about people who already know you and like you. I'm talking about strangers, people you don't already know. I want you to reach out to people and say, hey, I've had an idea about opening this kind of business. I know that you know a little bit about that type of business. What do you think? Or I'm thinking of running this particular event. How much would it cost to hire the venue? Or I'm thinking of launching this media type business. What would be involved in creating that kind of media? Reach out, start advancing the idea, find out a little bit more about what it would take to implement the idea in the real world. But while the idea is fresh, make 3 phone calls or send off 3 DMs to complete strangers to see what happens next. Challenge number 2 is to get a couple of different bank accounts. So most businesses have one bank account where all the money goes in. What I want you to do is set off a little side account that is designed to accumulate a little bit of reserve cash. You might call that the profit first account. I call it the reptile mind account. It's designed there to keep my reptile from talking too loudly. But one of the most powerful things that my mentors have always shared with me is the power of having multiple bank accounts. If holidays are important to you, set up a little holiday bank account. If investing is important to you or buying a house is important to you, set up another account that is going to be the money that you dividend out to yourself when it comes time to buy that house. Set up separate accounts so that you can see progress being made towards your goals in separate accounts. I don't know what it is about that is different from having one account, but something magical happens when you've got separate accounts that your brain can see, and it can see that you're making progress. Challenge number 3 is to remove a couple of people from your life. Stop spending time with people who bring you down. Unfortunately, there are people that you've known for many, many years. Over time, you've grown apart. Unfortunately, their interests are no longer aligned with your interests, and that's totally fine. Not everyone has to be completely aligned for their entire life. But it is important that you acknowledge that environment dictates performance. If you surround yourself with people who normalize poor performance, that's going to have an impact on you. If you surround yourself with people who are always complaining, if you surround yourself with people who have the type of behavior that you don't really want to emulate, unfortunately, if you don't spend less time with those people, you're going to be dragged into that behavior as well. We need to make some room to spend more time with the people who lift us up. Sometimes we meet people, we haven't known them for a long period of time, but we know what impact they have on our energy. They make us think bigger, they make us think more positively, they make us think about how to run a better business or how to make a bigger impact in the world. And the truth is that we have to make a conscious decision to prioritize that relationship over the relationship that's not serving us. Challenge number 4 is a strange one, and that is to carry your day rate in your pocket. Whatever you think that you're worth in a day, whatever you want to be worth in a day, I want you to mentally adjust so that that amount of money is just pocket change. Let's say you think to yourself, I'd really love to be earning $2,000 a day. You take $2,000 or 2,000 pounds, you put it in your pocket, you carry that around in your pocket. Now here's the thing. Initially, your brain will say, oh, that feels uncomfortable. That feels scary. That feels like it's not a safe thing to do. What I want you to do is a couple of things. Number 1, I want you to adjust to the feeling that that is just pocket money. Number 2, I want you to journal all the stuff that comes up as a result of having that cash in your pocket. Sometimes you're going to think, what if someone judges me, right? Or sometimes you're going to think, oh, what if somebody steals it? That is actually your baggage around money. All of that baggage comes up when you start carrying money. And when you journal it, you start to assess it. You start to think, do I really want to have those beliefs about money? Or do I want to shift my beliefs around money? Carrying cash is a great way to surface those old limiting beliefs and to change the way that you feel about certain amounts of money. Challenge 5, I want you to reach out to a potential mentor, someone who's a few steps ahead of you, and I want you to invite them to go out to lunch, and you're going to buy them lunch. And I want you to do this more often. Maybe do this once a month, once a week, where you're having lunch with someone new, someone who inspires you, someone who uplifts you. Now, don't reach out to someone who's 50 steps ahead of you. Don't reach out to someone who is famous and gets approached 50 times a week. I want you to reach out to someone who is at arm's length. You already know them, they're in your circles, maybe they're a few steps removed from you. They don't always get approached like this, but you're gonna reach out and say, hey, I've noticed how well you're doing in your business. I've noticed that you're doing really wonderful things. You're making a great impact in the world. Would I be able to take you out for lunch? In most cases, it's gonna be so well received and you're gonna get way more value from that lunch than the cost of the lunch. So start having lunch with a few more strangers who are the types of people that you would love to emulate. Number 6, I want you to put a whole blanket ban on the news. Stop watching the news, stop engaging with the news. The news is just a pitiful waste of time. Let me explain why. By definition, it's already happened. If something is on the news, it's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just a problem and people are now discussing the problem. Unfortunately, in most cases, because there's nothing you can be doing about it, you'd be better off spending that time and that emotional energy on something you can be in control of. Second thing is most of the things that are on the news are things that are of a national or international importance. And the truth is you're not there yet. You don't have the platform to be impacting national or international matters. The fastest or the best thing that you can be doing towards any issue in the world is gaining influence yourself, building your platform. Think about someone like John Lennon. John Lennon was first part of the Beatles and got international fame as someone writing simple songs about holding hands and things like that. And then with that platform, he was able to lead a peace movement. So first build your platform and then start getting engaged in bigger issues. But the news is designed to emotionally drain you and distract you, and you don't want to be drained or distracted. Number 7 is to keep an entrepreneur journal. So your journal is the place where you write down all your ideas, you write down your strategies, your plans, you take it wherever you go, you write down your goals and your lists, you write down the things that are challenging you or frustrating you or the constraints that you're dealing with, you map out your kind of like organizational structure, or you map out the new product offer that you have in mind and you just put it into that entrepreneurial journal. See, the thing is, entrepreneurs have constant ideas. You need a place to capture all of those ideas so you can develop and grow. I like to spend quite a bit of money on my journals. I use the Mont Blanc unlined blank pages. That's my favorite ones. I've got piles of them now going back over the years. Find yourself a really nice journal that you're proud to have, that you enjoy writing in, and keep a journal every single day with all your big ideas in it. Challenge number 8 is to think about the year ahead and to plan some inspiring holidays before you even embark on anything business related. It's so powerful to have your holidays planned into the diary. It gives your brain something to look forward to. It gives your family and friends and the people who love you a chance to know when they're going to get to spend some quality time with you. It also condenses activity. You know that you've got 2 or 3 weeks coming up going off to somewhere nice. You're going to work really, really hard to make sure everything's squared away prior to going on that holiday. And then you're going to go away on the holiday feeling good, and you're going to have some of your biggest and best ideas while you're sitting there by the pool or while you're skiing down a mountain, right? So make sure that you create an inspiring year ahead that includes some downtime, some holiday time. Get those holidays planned in the diary. If you don't plan them, they'll never happen. Business has a way of just taking over your entire year ahead. So make sure you've got your holidays locked into the diary in advance. Number 9, think about your business structure. Go and talk to an accountant or a lawyer, or someone who can advise you on business structuring. You know, the economy is built on all sorts of different structures. We all get taught about the employment structure at school, how to get a job and how to get paid as an employee, but there's all sorts of other structures. There's limited liability companies, there's trusts, there's partnerships, there's also international jurisdictions. If you intend on building a global business, you may want to have a company that holds intellectual property, or you might want to have a company that trades with a certain region of the world, or a company that is a holding company for certain assets that you've got. These are all decisions that if you make those decisions early, you can protect yourself from all sorts of negative events in the future. But once your business is up and it's booming and you've committed yourself to a structure, it can be very costly, time consuming, and perhaps even illegal to move things around once everything's already in place. So best off, go and have some structuring conversations before it's too late. Number 10 is get your entrepreneurial team in place before you even need a team in place. A lot of the times people ask me, what was it like starting out when you didn't have a team? Truth is, I've never not had a team. Every business I've ever started, I started by getting people around a table, talking to them about the idea and seeing if they want to join in. And I only start a business if I do have a team. So some of the people that I like to have on my initial team could be someone who's going to be a graphic designer and help me to bring it to life through design. might be someone who is a head of operations or an executive assistant who can help schedule things and organize things. I love having a salesperson on my team, whether it's an appointment setter or an appointment closer. I often like to have someone who is an IT person, like a technology person who can create websites and code things and build portals. So these are all the types of people I like to surround myself with when I'm starting a new business idea. I honestly believe that business is a team sport. If you've already got a business that's up and running, then I would encourage you to, as quick as possible, start hosting some lunches or dinners, get some interesting people around the table and see if they're open to joining your team. You don't have to employ people full-time on day one. Maybe you ask people to do a day a week. Maybe you ask people to do a little bit of extra work on the weekend or in the evening, but start just putting together that idea that your business is going to attract a team and work with a team, and that you're going to be leveraged by a team. See, here's the thing. It's very, very easy to work 70 hours per day. If you've got 10 people on a team who are working 7 hours a day, you've got 70 hours a day going into your business before you even start. So get a team in place. So there you have it, 10 challenges to just stimulate and wake up that entrepreneurial part of your brain. I know that it's very easy to get stuck in the business, to get bogged down in the weeds, but hopefully those challenges elevate you back into that visionary part of the brain that is very entrepreneurial and that wants to do something big in the world, that wants to make lots of profit and grow and be scalable, and also wants to make a big impact, make a dent in the universe. Let me know, out of those 10 challenges, which one really stood out for you. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you soon.